This guy sucks. I mean, hey everybody, Nullface here in Eternal Evolution, talking about the new dungeon, Mirage Space, and its boss, Reaper Deca, who does indeed kind of suck. Finally got the clear on level 6, I just couldn't quite make it work yesterday and didn't feel like putting that much more time into it. But today I did finally get it and wanted to share the team and the makeup. I'll show the gear here at the end. I'm actually trying out a couple different compositions or configurations for gear, so if I'm able to get that a little faster, I'll show that, and if not, I'll be reverting back to everybody in full survivability gear, and we'll see how that goes. So we'll get into the run here. You can take a look at how I kind of time the skills a little bit, and then we'll look at the gear afterwards. Well, it could just be luck of recording, but that was my smoothest run yet, so hooray for that. Now we'll take a look at the heroes that we're using here. Muka, first place I've really found to use him that is useful, so that's good. He is built in mostly tank gear with leftover gluttony, so HP percentage on both the Radiant and then, whatever else I could find. It's not good gear, but it did get the job done. Here he's got damage reduction with a couple crit damage reduction rolls, which actually worked out okay for this particular dungeon. Reduced the damage he took a little bit. If it didn't work, I was going to try to find a crit damage reduction helm and Radiant as well, but it seemed to work alright. Those are his stats. I do have part of the talents done. I didn't do too much. You could make him much tankier, probably do some more damage. It just didn't seem worth it. If I find more places to use him, then maybe. But for right now, he got the job done with this. Minimal investment. Run. And that's all I really needed him to do. After that, Daniel. Daniel is in light cap. Now I did switch them back to attack boots to try that run, and it worked fine. So a little bit defensive substats whenever possible. but he's mostly just sitting in light gap with the average to slightly below average substats. My hero gear is much better than my light gap. Yeah, that's a pretty decent piece, but other than that, it's okay gear. And he's one of the heroes I use most, so I should do which was a little bit better. Masrani, very standard, abundant, and vigorous here. Let's look through, prioritizing HP and damage reduction substat. This one's pretty nice. The other stat's not so great, but 10% DR on one piece is pretty nice. And just HP all around. EX HP. I think I've shown his gear before, but we'll do another quick run through there. Let's see, who else is in there? Anpu. Anpu, I'm running in 2 hero and 1 Hawkeye set, and just looking for accuracy and attack substats as usual. And whenever there's, some good rolls on survivability, always take those two. Accuracy, attack, DR and accuracy, not too bad there. A little bit split there, but all good stuff. And same there, I switched these in. A little damage reduction, crit damage reduction. Not that's going to make a big difference, but as he's on the run, either you get completely destroyed by one of the AoEs because you didn't have enough summons up, or you seem to live reasonably well, at least with the base stats that I have on these heroes now. You did see the protos that I was using there too. Flashpoint does help a little bit in giving that shield from Masrani if you can time the heals right, but if not, there's always going to be some times where you just have to restart. Then last one, Sorvaley here. Everybody except for Muka is full talent, so I have her in Madness because I have a Madness set. I think it was Gameplay Horizon had that one of his videos. I'm like, oh, maybe I have one of those, and I did, and it was fine. It's not amazing, but I haven't noticed any decrease in performance. So, why not? It frees up other gear for other heroes. And it's not like there are a lot of places or a lot of heroes where you can use a Madness set. I don't mind this either. One of the problems I have with Sorvaley is that her ult takes a long time to charge up. So a little bit of attack speed to help with that is not a bad thing. I'm sure there are other sets that'll come along that'll be better. Maybe even all this abundant gear that we're getting now might end up being better. If I can EX30 her, that would probably be a good choice there. But in the meantime, now I have apparently berserking deer spirits, so it works. I guess I'll say I haven't noticed a big difference in it. But those were the 5 that I used in there. So hopefully that's helpful. This is by far the most challenging dungeon that I've done so far. I say I wasn't able to get through it the first day I tried. Today, when the guildmate suggested Muka, I'm like, oh yeah, Muka exists, and that seemed to help stabilize things a little bit with his wolves. I haven't actually put any points into his exclusive. I probably will. At least get him up to 10, maybe 20. Since this will be a dungeon that I farm regularly because of the Marauder set being really, really good. I guess quick refresh, we'll take a real quick look at the sets that come from there as well. Space, Majestic, crit rate, and reduced received range damage. This is an interesting set. It almost reminds me of what was it called? Swift Parry in Raid Shadow Legends, right? That was a set built to let damage dealers survive a little bit longer, give them a chance to cheat death, basically, and had damage-based stats, but it always ended up on support because it gave them the same thing. You'd put it on your Reviver for a chance that they would go unkillable. I could potentially see this being the same way, putting supports in PvP into this set to give them more survivability, as if you've got heroes like the new guy, Count Chocula, what's his name? Northian, moving in. He does have, range damage. His attacks, I believe, are ranged, so you could get a lot of damage reduction on a healer, and maybe that would be beneficial. I don't know. It would be something interesting to kind of watch in the PvP meta if it shifts towards using this at all. But the one that I'm really after, Marauder, after each displacement, you get crit damage and lifesteal, which is ridiculous. I think is going to be really, really good, and I want to set for my Northian so that when I do get him evolved up, hopefully once the event cycle here in another couple of days, then I'll be able to really put him in this, and he should be able to lifesteal tank a lot of it too. So not that he's going to replace anyone, but if I can have another frontline available that's not Crete, that can do some serious damage too, and contribute to that output, I think that'll be really great for the team that I typically use to clear story mode, and a lot of other stuff too. I can also see, of course, great applications of this for assassins. This will be a really, really good set on Bailey or Rickert as well. It's a really great set. So the dungeons that I'll be targeting are really Mirage Space and Roulette of Truth, because Surge set is also very, very good. I want to get some more copies of that. I think Realm has some applications, but it's going to be a little more niche, simply because, yes, damage to summons by 40% is great, but AoE damage by 30%, I like this one more, in generally speaking. So I think that's where I'll be focusing my time. The two from Crimson Rot, not as great. Obviously, I'm using a Madness set. I think it could be good on score if you have some good healing for Hattie as well. But again, it's going to be tougher because most of the summoner damage, either from heroes like Anpu, comes from Anpu, not from the summons. His are meant to die. Daniel potentially could be good in it. Might try that too, especially with his EX30. The cooldown or the die bear lasts longer. I can often get it up again, so yeah, could be a good shot there too. Extraction. I don't know. Maybe I'll switch Muka into this to be a better tank. When a summoner sees crit damage, heal for 5% of max HP. You know, he'll get 10% of his HP every time Mirage, Reaper, definitely not Kha'Zix guy, whatever his name is, does his AoE. It could be worth it, but also if he works in Gluttony, that works too. Mess around with those, but I prioritize this one less. I don't buy tickets on the day where it's Crimson Rot. I definitely max tickets, or not max, but I buy 4 or 5 tickets with gems whenever it's Roulette of Truth or Mirage Space is open. Pretty good dungeons, pretty good sets, pretty good flexibility. Just getting the pieces is the hard part, right? So with that, I'll end this one before I ramble on anymore. Thank you all for watching. Hope you found it helpful, and take care.